What's up, brolies? How's everything going? As for me, well, we have something new today. We're going to check out a thin and light laptop as I continue to build up my mobile device reviews portfolio, such as smartphones, tablets, and laptops. What we have here today is the Huawei MateBook D14, a thin and light laptop targeted toward young professionals who often travel, do online video conferencing, and do office tasks on the go. It has some interesting AI features for both the sound quality and camera, and has a larger display to provide you with more room to work with, partnered with some capable hardware inside, and a pretty decent battery life. Now, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Marvin. I do product reviews related to tech, and in most cases about standalone peripherals like keyboards, mouse, headsets, speakers, monitors, laptops, and smartphones. I also feature desk setup accessories, and occasionally, I also share my creator life here, my gears, ideas, and workflow. So if you're into that, maybe consider subscribing. With that said, let's get into it. Now let me pop the complete specifications first so that we can get that out of the way. Now before we start the review, let's just figure out first who is this laptop for, so that we can have a good context about everything it has to offer as well as the overall focus of this video. Now if you're wondering, Huawei reached out to me if I want to try out their latest MateBook D14, and since I want to build up my laptop reviews portfolio, I agreed. But honest disclaimer, this is not sponsored. In fact, I just borrowed this from Huawei so that I can finally try one of their products, which I haven't yet until today. Now, Huawei is positioning the MateBook D14 for, well, any laptop's intended purpose, which is for mobile productivity, but this one in particular has some set of hardware and software features targeted towards work meetings and conferences. It also has a bunch of AI features for both sound quality and camera, which I'll demonstrate later. It is also targeted towards online learning, but honestly, that is kind of a reach considering the price of this laptop. But hey, I'm not the one deciding what's your current buying capability, so yeah. Now starting with the design and construction, the Huawei MateBook D14 features a sleek and slim form factor with curved edges and corners and has a thickness of only around 15.9mm. It also weighs just around 1.39 kilograms. The entire body is made out of aluminum and feels generally robust and of course cold to the touch. At the bottom, we have two strips of ventilations, some rubber feet, the bottom fire and steer speakers, and the technical details sticker. Here we can also see some ventilations underneath the lid. This laptop also features a curved bottom case to give that illusion that it is thinner than it actually is, which I honestly don't mind. I think it's sexy. In terms of input and output ports, on the left side we have a full-function USB Type-C port, a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A port, an HDMI port, and a 3.5mm audio port. On the other side, we have a USB 2.0 Type-A port. And then at the back, we don't have anything here, but like I said earlier, we have some ventilation underneath the lid. With a strong hinge, opening the lid requires two hands, but at least we have a sort of lip here that we can use as a leverage. I'm curious to know, do you prefer a laptop that you can open using just one hand or two hands like this? Let me know in the comments below. Now the touchpad, as per my measurements, is around 120 by 73mm, features a very smooth surface with decent click and tactile feedback, and supports multi-finger touch gestures. The keyboard features a 60% layout with the traditional compact arrow keys with smaller function rows up top. The good thing here is that it features a decent 1.5mm key travel with good tactile feedback while being relatively quiet. It sounds like in a typical laptop keyboard though, with a sort of rattling sound, but not too jarring I would say. I just had to point that out. Now the good thing about this laptop is that it has a dedicated power button that also doubles as a fingerprint sensor. I hate it when a laptop's power button is part of the keyboard, so this is definitely appreciated. Going up, let's discuss the display. First, with the screen-to-body ratio of around 90%, the bezels are relatively thin all around. Even the bottom bezel is just a tile thicker with a subtle Huawei logo at the center. Up top, we have an HD camera with a small LED indicator beside it. Notice that we don't have the usual microphone array here, and if I have to guess, the microphones are located here in front, and if my guess is correct, then I find this more than ideal than at the bezel of the display. We will test this later alongside the webcam once we talk about its AI features for both the sound quality and camera, but for now, let's focus on the display. So we have a 14-inch Full HD IPS panel with up to 300 nits of brightness and 161 pixel per inch density. I have to be honest here, the display is definitely not its strong point, especially if you're a content creator. the color accuracy is not as good as I've hoped for, with a rated 45% NTSC color accuracy. In my testing, using the Data Color Spider X Pro calibration tool, the display only covers around 60% of the RGB color space, 42% NTSC, 44% Adobe RGB, and 40% P3. So yeah, if you're a content creator editing photos and videos, this is probably not the best option for you. Granted, it's not really targeted towards content creation. Like I said, this is targeted towards mobile office and productivity use case scenarios, focusing on meetings and conferences. But yeah, I was hoping for a little bit better display considering the price. For regular media consumption though, it's not entirely bad, I would say. The viewing angles are still pretty decent thanks to the IPS panel and still have some fairly good colors, contrast, and details. As you can tell, the display is still quite adequate for watching videos, just not for professional color grading and things of that nature. On the other hand, the good thing about this display is the increased real estate with the 16:10 aspect ratio. That is around 10% more than the traditional 16:9. With this, you have more space to view documents and web pages, though you will get some black bars when watching traditional 16:9 videos. It also features an anti-glare finish, which is nice especially if you're going to work in different types of environments with different lighting conditions. Plus, it has a couple of eye care features with TUV rain-end low blue light and DC dimming flicker-free certifications. Now, in terms of the speaker, here's a quick sound test for you guys. Now let's talk about the features that makes this stand out and tailor it to its specific target market space. Alright, so this is a webcam and microphone test for the Huawei MateBook D14. So inside the camera application, you have the option to adjust the brightness. So this is the brightest setting and it looks like we're currently in heaven. And this is the lowest setting, and of course you can adjust that depending on your working environment. Now this is just a HD 720p webcam. But the good thing here is that we have a lot of features that is baked in the Huawei control panel that we can take advantage for Zoom meetings or potentially for any social media communication. So inside the control panel, we have two options here when it comes to the webcam and the microphone. The first one is the AI camera and the second one is AI sound. So let's start with the AI sound first. So inside the control panel here, you have the option to optimize or adjust the sound quality of the speakers. You can choose to add more bass or widen the sound stage, or choose the smart optimization, which is pretty much the auto setting. You can also do that, or you can also use that for earphones when you plug it in on the 3.5mm headphone jack. And the most important feature here is, of course, for the microphone. We have two options here. The first one is the Sound Through HD, which essentially we just capture the sound naturally without any sort of noise cancelling feature. And then the second one is the noise cancelling feature, which will cancel out other background noise around your environment. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. Let me know in the comments below, but let's try it out. So let's start with Sound Through HD, which doesn't have any noise cancelling. And I'm going to turn on my air purifier at level 9. So Sound Through HD without noise cancelling, microphone test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to switch to the noise cancelling feature. Microphone test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't know if it works. Let me know in the comments below. So there you go. And then, aside from that, let's take a look at the AI camera feature. So first, you can actually turn off your camera. We have that option. Let me just try it here. There you go. And you can turn on the camera right from the control panel, which is actually quite nifty if you want to keep your privacy. Now inside the AI camera settings, the first option here is virtual background. So as you can tell, I have a very messy studio here, and if you have a similar workspace, you can just choose a different background. So it will essentially transport you or teleport you to a different working environment if you're into that. Of course, the background separation can be a bit jarring or a bit choppy, but at least you have this as an option. The other option that we have here is beauty. There you go. I don't know if it worked on my pretty ugly face, but there's that. And another nifty feature here is the follow cam. There you go. So it should be zooming in on my face and follow my movement. There you have it, guys. So unfortunately, it doesn't work with the virtual background turn on, but at least you have this as an option if you're into that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a lot of options when it comes to the webcam and the built-in microphone on this Huawei MateBook D14. The only thing that I don't particularly like is the webcam or the resolution of the webcam, which is only 720p. I would have preferred if this at least 1080p full HD, but at least we have a lot of features again baked in the Huawei control panel. Now let's get back into the video. Another key feature of this laptop is the Huawei Metaline antenna, which allows for 38% faster download, 40% less delay for video conferencing, and 69% less delay in online gaming. So yeah, this is really targeted towards on-the-go productivity and learning use case scenarios. Now let's talk about performance. The Huawei MateBook D14 that I have here features a 12th Gen Intel Core i5 1240p processor with 16GB of memory and 512GB of fast NVMe SSD. Here are all the benchmarks that I ran so that you can have a tangible idea of how it performs that you can potentially compare to your current laptop. In my experience, it is more than capable for its intended purpose, like video conferencing, web browsing, office work, social media browsing, and media consumption. However, it's not capable enough for some of the tasks that I typically do, which require more horsepower. For video editing, for example, I tried editing in DaVinci Resolve, but the processor proved to be the bottleneck. I can still probably edit with this if I really want to, but I'd have to use proxies and scale down the timeline resolution. But yeah, again, content creation is not a strong point after all. On the other hand, battery life is good enough to last you the entire working hours. As per my testing using the PC Mark 10 battery life benchmark with maximum brightness and volume with earphones plugged in, it lasted for around 8 hours and 10 minutes for video playback, 7 hours and 53 minutes in Microsoft Office applications, 7 hours and 29 minutes in modern office tasks like writing, web browsing, and video conferencing, and of course, as expected, just less than 2 hours when it comes to gaming. Speaking of gaming, I did try it in Valorant and I'd say it is pretty playable with over 120 FPS. Lastly, in terms of unboxing experience, nothing much honestly, just the power brick and the laptop itself. Overall, to conclude, my recommendation here is very simple. If you're looking for a thin and light laptop and most of your tasks involve traveling, video conferencing, office and web applications with media consumption on the side, this laptop is a good option. The larger display will provide you with more room to work with, the AI features can come in handy with your online communication tasks, and the decent battery life will provide you that reliability and peace of mind. However, if you're also into content creation and display color accuracy and video editing capability is important to you, then this is not the one. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. This is not sponsored and I have to return this to Huawei after the review. Although they provided me with a review guide just to make sure I have all the specifications correct, they won't see my script and they'll see this video the same time as you'll do. With that said, if you're interested in this laptop, I'll put some links below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you appreciate this video, and let me know in the comments below what you want to see next. Have a great day, guys. You're awesome.